calculation of net profit before tax. Also, we have studied of adjustment of non-cash and non-operating items. Okay. If you still have a doubt, don't worry. I'll give a brief intro on these two topics and then I'll move ahead. So again, in this video today, we will actually complete the cash flow from operating activity. Cash flow from operating activity. So this is the format, as you can see. This is the total format of cash flow statement. Okay, this is the total format of cash flow statement. So here you can see first you do the adjustment of cash flow from operating activity and the final amount is written here. Okay, then you find the cash flow from investing activity and the final amount is written here. And in the last, the cash flow from financing activity and the final amount is written here. What we do, we add all these three items, the final three items, we write it here. That is known as cash increase. If it is positive, cash increase. If it is negative, cash decrease. What we do then, we add cash and cash equivalent in the beginning. There are two cash and cash equivalent in the balance sheet, you know, current year and the previous year. So in the previous year, whatever is the balance, we write here and we add to the total of these three. Whatever is the total balance no in the last will be equal to the cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. Okay, and this is the answer. This will be also given in the question, and then you can actually relate that your answer is correct or not. Okay, so having said that, since we are dealing with only operating activity now, so let us start with operating activity again. Okay, like I said that operating activity, then the format has to be adhered to, or the format have to be maintained. So let us see how cash flow from operating activity started. Cash flow from operating activity starts with net profit before tax and extraordinary items. This I have taught, I've explained how to calculate this. Anyway, how will you calculate this? You write the statement of PL balance. Where will you get this? In the balance sheet. How will you write? This is the column. Okay, current year minus previous year. Write the amount here. Then you'll add transfer from general reserve. Again, current year minus previous year. Whatever is the amount, you write it here. Then you add provision for tax. Provision for tax which year? Current year. Okay. Then you add proposed dividend which year? Previous year. The syllabus has changed, and then we only deal with the previous year of proposed dividend. For the current year proposed dividend, we don't record it anywhere. Okay, fine. Then we add interim dividend. Interim dividend is a dividend that is paid during the year without because dividend is generally paid at the end of the year. So any dividend that is paid in urgent basis during the year, that is known as interim dividend. Only one thing is subtracted, that is refund of tax. Okay, and whatever is the amount after adding all this is known as net profit before tax, and this amount will be recorded over here. So you understood the first thing? Okay, very good. So this was explained in the previous video. If you have a doubt, you can go to the video later on and see. Okay. Then adjustment for non-cash and non-operating activity. Okay. What are the items to be added? Depreciation. Why depreciation will be added here? Because depreciation was subtracted while calculation of net profit. So net profit from the gross profit, depreciation was subtracted. Okay, but actually there was no cash outflow. Therefore, we add it now to find the correct net profit. Same is with goodwill, patent, or trademark amortization. So when you amortize is the fallen value of the asset. So when you amortize the value of intangible asset, in that case, and this is also recorded, this is also subtracted in from gross profit to find the net profit. So therefore, but there is no, it is subtracted, but there is no cash outflow. Hence, we will add it back. interest on borrowing or on debentures. So see, interest on borrowing and debenture, this is cash item, obviously. These two are the non-cash, so hence it is added back. This is a cash item, you have paid interest, but this is non-operating. This is non-operating. So we'll take it, we'll add it here, and then we'll subtract it in the financing activity. So you say interest paid on debentures. Okay, interest paid on debentures. This is subtracted here. See, this is subtracted here. So we will add it there and they subtract it in the later part, though it is a cash item. Then loss on sale of fixed asset. This is extraordinary items, hence it is added back. Increase in provision, also this is recorded in the statement of PL, but actually there is, when we create provision, there is no cash outflow. This is a non-cash item, hence we will add it back. Why? Because when we create a provision, we subtract it from the gross profit to get the net profit. So net profit is being reduced by this amount, but actually there is no cash out, so we will add it back. Interest income, understand one thing, why it is added back, because interest income is added non-operating item, hence it is subtracted from here and added in the investing activity. Same is with the dividend income, it is also non-operating. It is non-operating, it is an investing activity, hence we take it out from here and put it in the investing activity. Same is with the rental income. Okay, gain on sale of fixed asset is extraordinary items, hence it is subtracted. So loss on sale will be added and gain on sale will be subtracted. So this was also explained in the previous video. Okay, so now having said that, what we have done, we have calculated the net profit before tax. Then we have adjustment of non-cash and non-items which will be added. We added here. Find the total. Then which will be subtracted. We subtracted here, and the net amount is recorded here. So now we will add this one with this one, and we'll get an amount. This amount is known as operating profit before working capital changes. Okay, before working capital changes. After this, what we will do, we will add and less current liability and current asset. Okay, sir, how to remember this? What to add, what to subtract? If you see the question, the current liability and the current assets. Okay, in the current asset, accept cash and cash equivalent, and accept short-term borrowings and short-term provisions. Okay, accept short-term borrowings and short-term provisions. Whatever current non-current liability is there, you see whether it is increasing or decreasing. So this was 2017 and this was 2018. So from 25 to 20, that means there is decrease in, sorry, not this one. From 55 to 60, 55,000 to 60,000 trade payable, right? From 55 to 60,000, in 2017 it was 55,000, and in 2018 it was 60,000. That means there is an increase in 5,000. Okay. Same in the current investment will also not come. Why? Because current investment is considered as cash and cash equivalent. So क्या items नहीं आएंगे from current asset, current investment and cash equivalent. What items will not come under current liability? Short-term borrowings and short-term provisions. Apart from that, other current liability and trade payables will be coming in as adjustment of working capital. Fine. So inventory, you see how much is the inventory? 50,000 and it is 97,500. That means there is an increase in the value of inventory of 47,500. Okay. Trade receivable was 1 lakh and there is 1 lakh. So there is no change. There is no change. Now how to do an adjustment, sir? Very good. So what we do after we get the operating profit before working capital changes, we look for the current asset and current liability. In the current liability, accept short-term borrowings and short-term provisions. In current asset, accept cash and cash equivalent and cash current investment. Whatever is there, we'll look for that and we'll see the trend, whether it is increasing or decreasing. So in this we will add increase in current liability and decrease in current asset will be added. What will be subtracted is decrease in current liability and increase in current asset will be subtracted. Okay, again, what will be added? Increase in current liability and decrease in current asset will be added. What will be subtracted? Decrease in current liability and increase in current asset. So it's very tough to remember. Can you give some tricks? Yes. Understand, this increase and decrease is directly proportionate to current liability. That means if what we'll add increase in current liability. What will subtract? We'll subtract decrease in current liability. Very good. Now this just the opposite. Decrease in current asset will also be added, and opposite of this, increase in current asset will be subtracted. You can remember this way. Okay. So in this case, in the question, you see there is increase in current liability. So increase in current liability will be added. So 5,000 will be written as plus here. Okay. Then there is increase in current assets. So increase in current asset is subtracted. So we'll write minus 47,500. Okay. So whatever the amount you get it here, you do the adjustment over here, add this thing, and you get cash generated from operation. Finally, you get cash generated from operation. Okay. What you do is subtract income tax from there. Whatever cash generated from operation, you subtract the income tax, and then you subtract extraordinary items. Finally, you will get the operating activity. Okay, so this is how it is done. Again, I will just give a quick revision of cash flow from operating activity, and then I'll solve a question so that it becomes very much clear. So we start with net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Okay, I've taught you how to calculate this one. Then adjustment for non-cash and non-operating items. Okay, items to be added, why these items will be added and why this item will be subtracted, I have explained before. So you look for this amount in the balance sheet, look for all these amounts in the balance sheet. Either it will be in balance sheet, or it will be in notes, or it will be in additional info. Either of the three, this information will be hidden. You search for it and then you do the adjustment. Same in this case also, you look for that items over in this. It's not necessary that all the items will be given. Either of the items will be given, or sometimes no items will be given. So in that case, don't need to do a headache. No need to write that amount. Okay. After doing the addition of all this, what do you get? We get operating profit before working capital changes, this amount. Now working capital means current asset and current liability. So what we'll do, so we'll add and less increase and decrease in current asset. So I said add will be directly proportionate to, add means increase in current liability, and subtraction will be decrease in current liability. Okay, then do the opposite, decrease in current asset less increase in current asset. Okay, done. Once you again how to find increase and decrease, just cy minus py. So in this case it was if you see, cy was 60,000 and py was 55,000, so that is 5,000 positive. Okay, then in this case for inventory, cy was 97,500 and py was 50,000, so that is 47,500. So that means increase in current asset is 47,500 and increase in current liability is 5,000. So accordingly, you see over here what to do with increase in current liability and what to do with increase in current asset. Okay, and then you do the adjustment over here, write the amount here and then do the total. Then you get cash generated from operating. The name of the total is cash generated from operating activity. What you subtract here is income tax paid and also extraordinary items, which is not there in the syllabus for the calculation purpose. Okay, and then finally after the addition of subtraction of tax and addition of less of the extraordinary items, you get cash flow from operating activity. That is it. That is how you calculate cash flow from operating activity. I'll do a small question on this so that it becomes very clear. Okay.